Bit of a handball in the mix there from Tessa Blumenberg, but she got the whistle to go her way, given the rough treatment she got. And Frankfurt tried to pinch. They are really investing a lot in a very intense opening here, the Schiegels, but so far they've been rewarded with the opening goal. Neat play by Freiburg now. Conceding the opener certainly plays against them, no doubt, but it has seemingly released the shackles a little bit on their performance. And there is Adnan Kaplani. Let's go back to, well, hold the thought, because there's a chance here. Schenk with the strike! Seen all the way by Altenburg. A couple of saves now made by the Frankfurt keeper. So signs of improvement from those in white and red. But what Kaplani said before the game is that we cannot let Frankfurt settle into their rhythm. He said it's all about the work against the ball, given the fact that Frankfurt have so much quality in their ranks, especially going forward. And they're starting to flex their muscles here. Blomqvist flashes wide. Maybe could have tried to pick out Anjomi or Reutela, but with 3 goals already to her name, fancied a 4th. Now the cutback was on. Yellow-White really taking the battle to Beerkoltz after the clash earlier that left her needing a bit of treatment. The young centre-back saying if you're going to dish it out, then you better be willing to take it as well. To the Freiburg striker, who's got to be careful because she is on a yellow card, so can't get sucked in to a really physical matchup. Meritfelder, short of options. Oh, does well there to evade the press from Grever. Now she finds the pass to her captain, Lisa Karl. Karl, who's been at the club for 13 years, since the age of 15. Plenty of white shirts in the middle to aim for, but that cross lacked the quality to find any of them. Yellow-White heavily involved in the early exchanges here on the defensive side of things for Eintracht Frankfurt. You can see why, at 20 years of age, they think so highly of her. Freiburg run themselves into a bit of trouble. Nadine Riesen to Reutela. Brought down right on the edge of the area. Was Mads Schneider or Julia Stierli the guilty party on that occasion? Such a gifted player, Laura Freigang. Got sandwiched out, and in the end she clatters into Stierli, but I think it was Mads Schneider with the foul. She might not have been in free scoring form at the start of this season, but her influence, nevertheless, so important for this Eintracht Frankfurt side. It would go a long way if Freiburg was able to open her Frauen-Bundesliga account for the season. It's Nina Lösen, though, standing over this free kick, and it took her over a year to score her first Eintracht Frankfurt goal, but she scored it from a free kick against Slovacko. She's got a wonderful left foot. It is Nina Lösen, and it's off the bar. Just needed a little bit more dip. And Frankfurt would have doubled their advantage on the half-hour mark. Delicate from Nina Lösen. The woodwork rattled, but nothing more. A scare survived there by Freiburg. Won't be the last this afternoon, most likely, but right now they're not doing really enough to strike a bit of fear into this Eintracht Frankfurt team. Well, maybe now, as Altenburg almost lingers on the ball a touch too long. Nachtigall does well to win the header. Meritfelder does the same, but it's straight to a member of the opposition. Greve does really well just to let that ball run across her body. And again, now all of a sudden Frankfurt just spark into gear. They're almost playing the patience game, but when they turn it on, they really turn it on. Lisa Zenz continued her run there. The ball was intended for her, but wayward. Well, they haven't had much to cheer about so far, the Freiburg fans, even if they were in very positive spirits before the game, enjoying the live band on the concourse and feeding the festive atmosphere. Now given away cheaply by the hosts. Freiburg will look to punish. Benkart is equal to the effort of the Frankfurt captain. She was one of the more fascinating storylines of last season, Laura Freiburg. She started the campaign in such impressive goal-scoring fashion. 10 goals scored in the first half of the season, but just 4 in the second half, and arguably you could say that her goals drying up was one of the main reasons that Frankfurt actually failed to capitalise on the chance to finish second. It wasn't the only reason. I don't want to lay the blame all at Laura Freiburg's feet. That would be foolish. But it certainly was a factor. She certainly wasn't happy about the amount of defeats that the She-Gulls have suffered already this season. But right now they are on course to pick up their first points on foreign soil in the Frauen-Bundesliga of the current campaign. They have won on the road already this season. A trip to the capital in the DFB-Pokal der Frauen. They beat Victoria Berlin, which has now set up a round of 16 tie against Hoffenheim, away from home. That game will be played on the 15th, 16th or 17th of November, depending on how the schedule plays out. Freiburg, meanwhile, will be away to record title holders Wolfsburg. Here you can see as we've got just over 10 minutes remaining in this first half. A 1-0 lead is a fair reflection of the state of play. Frankfurt have been dominant in every department, and Freiburg aren't really doing enough to disrupt their rhythm. And while they have had 2 chances, 2 shots on target saved by Lina Altenburg, neither really troubled the Frankfurt goalkeeper. Loose pass picked off by Freiburg. Once again, they break into the final third, but find no purchase there. A little slow to her feet there. She has been dealing with a bit of an ankle injury at the start of this season, a few muscular problems as well. Schneider to Felder. Space to work with on this near side. Blumenberg does well to keep Freiburg in possession. Nachtigall didn't make that pass to Schneider any easier. Well, the break was on there if Blomqvist had won that ball. Freigang still has a lot of space in front of her. Frankfurt just forced to have a quick rethink and reset. But again, they're finding themselves in quite a comfortable position in this game. Even if a one-goal lead is certainly not a comfortable one to possess. Especially in the Frauen-Bundesliga, where you really can expect the unexpected, as they say. Nina Lursen, first Frankfurt player in the book. Getting a little too handsy on that occasion with Lisa Kolb. Edmond Kaplani, a man that once swapped shirts with Lionel Messi on the international stage. An Albanian international, actually also possesses the record for most goals scored by a foreign player in the Zweite Bundesliga in the men's game, the second tier. Right now his side facing up to a second loss of his tenure. But again, if Edmond Kaplani can go through life in the Frauen-Bundesliga only losing to the likes of Bayern, Wolfsburg and Frankfurt, well then, he'll fare quite well as Freiburg head coach. That's a lovely ball from Lisa Karl. Freiburg need to capitalise on this opportunity, but the cross is blocked behind for a corner by Lursen. They are committing numbers forward, the home side, in search of that equaliser. Right now, goal-scoring opportunities, very hard come-by for Die Breisgauer. Maybe now. Could they score a set-piece goal against the set-piece specialists? Frankfurt have scored 6 from dead balls, Freiburg just 1 so far this season. Arms up if you want a goal. Corner comes in. Oh, Altenberg did well to get there, because had she not, Luca Birkholz was ready. Ooh, cheap concession of possession there. Nice turn. Now the cutback behind Mad Schneider. She was the only one in the box to aim for. Freiburg right now are in the ascendancy though, as we approach half-time. And now the chance, Schneider's there, near post and turned behind by Altenburg. Well, I think she got a touch, if not, it's a pure miss from Schneider, but this is much better from SC Freiburg. I might just have clipped the post from Mad Schneider there, looking for that deft touch. But now they are starting to stoke the atmosphere here at the Dreisamstadion. Type of opportunity they have to capitalize on. They've got to feed on the energy and feed the energy of the home fans, but they're doing it now. Lisa Karl to Schneider. Kolb tries to turn, but Anyomi shuts the door. Appeals for a handball. Unheard, and now the break is on. Freigang. A very tame effort there from the Frankfurt forward. Nachtigall wanted to take the throw quickly, but she took a very generous few steps forward down the sidelines there, and rightly the throw-in is brought back. Nico Arnautis still isn't happy with the fact that it's been taken as far forward as it has. The Nico Arnautis is a type of coach that's rarely ever happy with anything that goes against his team. Anyomi, the goal scorer this afternoon. With such a wonderfully well-crafted move from Frankfurt. We haven't seen them do that too often today or this season, truth be told. Because while there was a fair share of upheaval at the club, the back line was certainly a little bit harder hit than the front line. Two new faces for Frankfurt in the form of Rebecca Blomqvist and Ereletta Mehmeti, who have both made an immediate impact in their new surroundings. Greve tries from range, and Benkert has to pluck it out of that top corner. Sweetly struck by Lisanne Greve. Certainly doesn't shy away from efforts from distance. Neat bit of passing here from Frankfurt. Anyomi's touch just lets her down. Well, Freiburg will be a little disappointed, perhaps, to hear the half-time whistle, given the way their performance is progressing, the way they're growing into this first half. Can they reward themselves before the whistle? Teasing delivery from Cenk, cut out by Illerstedt. Anyomi, one-on-one with Stierli. Still going, Anyomi. Gets a shot off, but it was always going wide. She was Frankfurt's Joint top goal scorer on 14, level with Laura Freigang. Two minutes tacked on to the end of the first half. Krever to Anyomi. Nice ball back to Krever. A neat turn from Krever as well. Gets the shot off again, but goalkeeper of Laura Benkart's quality was never going to be troubled by that. Great to see her back on the Freiburg books, having come through the youth academy. She went on to, at the time, bigger and better things with Bayern and then Lyon. She herself said she was delighted to be back with her Herzensverein, the club of her heart. Back where it all began. Another Freiburg move breaks down. They battle back, but Kolb penalised. And gets a little telling off for kicking the ball away after the whistle had been blown. Frankfurt looking to fashion one final chance in this first half. Nadine Riesen. Oh, takes on Karl, and well, Karl had a huge tug of the shoulder there. Riesen really had her beat all ends up there in the foot race. And the Freiburg captain was having none of it. Grabbed the collar, didn't let go. And this is dangerous now for Freiburg, right on the stroke of half-time. This will be the final piece of action. Can Frankfurt, the set-piece specialists, strike when Freiburg themselves have been in the ascendancy? Nina Lursen to take. Plenty of shirts in grey and black to pick out. Fizzed in. Lisa Karl atoning for the foul that conceded the free kick by making sure the free kick came to nothing. But Freiburg's 50th anniversary celebrations not quite going according to plan here at the Dreisamstadion. In a battle of top three hopefuls, it's Eintracht Frankfurt who have found the breakthrough. Nicole Anyomi with the only goal of the first half. The game not won by any measure, but Eintracht Frankfurt find themselves in the driver's seat. Freiburg finished the first half strong. Can they pick up where they left off after the break? At half-time, it is Freiburg 0, Frankfurt 1.
Gemeinsam mit den Landesverbänden Baden-Württemberg bietet der Südbadische Fußballverband am Dezember 2025 ein kostenloses Weiterbildungsprogramm für engagierte Frauen in Ehrenamt. Es richtet sich an Frauen, die bereits ehrenamtlich im Fußball aktiv sind oder den Einstieg suchen. Euch erwarten praxisnahe Workshops, inspirierende Mentoren und ein starkes Netzwerk. Perfekt für alle, die Verantwortung übernehmen und sich persönlich weiterentwickeln wollen. Die Teilnahme an den deutschen Programm ist für Frauen komplett kostenfrei, inklusive Verpflegung und Anreise. Interessiert? Nutzt den QR-Code auf der Anzeigetafel, um mehr Infos zu erhalten oder bewerbt euch direkt online auf der Homepage unter dem Südbadischen Fußballverband www.sdfv.de. Und wir bedanken uns ganz besonders bei allen Partnersponsoren. Danke an unseren Hauptsponsor Frauen-Bundesliga. Danke auch an Aufwechsel GmbH, KKG und Europapark GmbH und KKG. Vielen Dank an Edeka Invest und die Teamsports GmbH in Deutschland GmbH. Danke an die Badische Staatsbrauerei Rotwasser GmbH und die Sparkasse Freiburg nördlicher Reichskasse. Vielen Dank an DGV, Badische Versicherung und BC GmbH, Netzka und Thüringen. Danke auch an Weberhaus GmbH und KKG und die staatliche Tochterlotto GmbH Baden-Württemberg. Danke an die Druckerei Furtwässer GmbH KKG und Striker Leibinger GmbH KKG und danke auch an Jobrat. Und die
Hello and welcome back to the Dreisam Stadion, where Freiburg are trying to re-inject a bit of the party spirit we had before this game against Eintracht Frankfurt, stifled by the 1-goal deficit they start the second half with, and changes being made by head coach Edmond Kaplani, because at 1-0 down, all is not lost. 1 goal back, and it's game on again here in the Black Forest. Selina Vorbian has entered the game. Tessa Blumenberg has exited. But what impact will that have on proceedings? One key figure still missing. Referee Carolina Vaca, excuse me. Does a quick count to the players, and that should be us ready to get back underway. The Sunday curtain raiser, match day 6 in the Google Pixel Frauen-Bundesliga. A clash of top 3 hopefuls. Freiburg had a 1-point advantage in the standings over Frankfurt at the start of play. But right now, Eintracht Frankfurt, a goal to the good, ready to leapfrog their hosts. All courtesy of Nicole Agnomi's 2nd goal of the season. A wonderfully worked move by Eintracht Frankfurt. Given the way they started this game, they were fully deserving of the 1-0 lead. Freiburg finished the first half the stronger of the 2 sides, but couldn't reward themselves. The question is, can they pick up where they left off? And well, if that ball had gone right instead of left, maybe we'd have got our answer. James Thorogood, your match commentator. Thanks for joining on a spectacular Sunday afternoon, the first of 3 games in Germany's top flight. Next up, we've got Hoffenheim against Leverkusen, followed by Köln against Union Berlin. First 2 matches all about top 3 prospects. Köln against Union, all about precious points, perhaps, in the relegation battle. It was Union Berlin that Freiburg beat 3-0 in the capital. That was back on match day 5. Now Birkoltz, she is in behind here, Luca Birkoltz. Support in the form of Lila Egli. Kaplani making 2 changes, the Freiburg head coach. Lisa Kolb, Tessa Blumenberg make way, Selina Vorbian and Lila Egli come on. It was Lila Egli who scored the dramatic winner in the 3-2 win here for Freiburg against Frankfurt last season in the 92nd minute. Now she's on at half-time. Corner worked short. Now it goes long. Altenberg is under pressure, but does well, the young goalkeeper. Nico Arnautis talking about a team that are still learning, still growing. His Eintracht Frankfurt side. Oh, Vorbian, that was a hefty challenge from Jelle White. And a touch from the referee will stop play there. Welcome to the game, Selina Vorbian. Yeah, that'll rattle the knee joint. Poor pass, but Felder rescues the situation. Well won in midfield by the home side. Space here for Niachenk. Plenty of teammates to try and pick out. It comes now to Lila Egli. Deflection. Still the chance. Felder's there. Vorbian! Oh, she's gone wide. with the effort. What a chance for Freiburg to strike early in the second half with their half-time substitute. She had so much time and space, enough to take a touch, but can't find the target. And if that's a sign of things to come in this second half, then it's going to be a fun ride. A nice flick on there from Anyomi and our Freigang. Good idea to try and play into the run of Blomqvist, but it came right off the heels of the Swede. And then there's a handball from Elisa Zentz as she tried to win back possession quickly. And Freiburg are celebrating their 50-year anniversary. Founded in 1975, one of the pioneers of the women's game here in Germany. Or Illerstedt, that was some improvisational defending. Worked out in the end for Frankfurt, who now have space to exploit. And Yomi checks her run as a result. Plenty of white shirts back behind the ball. Freiburg haven't had much success at the highest level in modern times. They were 5-time South Baden champions. First promotion to the top tier came back in 1998. Twice relegated in 1999 and then 2010. They've been a firm fixture in the top flight since, and Karl's cross dealt with by Altenburg. In the absence of Sophia Winkler, Altenburg, you have to say, has done remarkably well. 20 years old, but she really has taken to the task of being Frankfurt's starting goalkeeper. And yeah, she's had a few hairy moments befitting of her age, and perhaps a couple of goals conceded that maybe Sophia Winkler wouldn't have, but given her age, a very bright future ahead. Freiburg will be hoping to test her more often, and they might have another chance here, but the pass inaccurate. Vorbiano picks up the pieces, and still Karl onto Nachtigall. Just hesitated with the shot. Couldn't thread it through the legs, the former Frankfurt player. But nice to see here that Freiburg, with the words of Edmond Kaplani ringing in their ears, throwing a little bit more caution to the wind at the start of this second half. Oh, Stili was there, but didn't get a head on the ball. Frankfurt need to be wary now, because they've taken the one-goal lead through Nicole Anyobi, but they haven't really pushed on since then. Freiburg grew into the game in the first half, and they are still growing in the second. And the pressure starting to switch sides. The tides have turned a touch. The free kick comes to nothing, but Nachtigall tries to pick up the pieces. given the fact that it has been a pretty packed schedule for Frankfurt at the start of the season. Of course, they had that first leg against Slovácko in midweek at the Stadion am Brentanobad. But they've also had 2 Champions League qualifier games against Real Madrid, which took a lot out of the She-Eagles. Literally the hardest draw they could have been given in the qualifiers. Almost every other team possible, you'd have thought that Frankfurt would have been favourites to progress and book their ticket to the league phase. Maybe with the exception of Manchester United. But unfortunately, while it was a valuable experience and a learning lesson for some of these Frankfurt players, they would have preferred to learn a few more lessons in the Champions League. Instead, you might actually consider them one of the favourites to win the inaugural UEFA Women's Europa Cup. Freigang frustrated there at a poor pass from herself. She demands so much. And normally she delivers. She did have a goal ruled out for offside in the first half. Otherwise, few chances for Laura Freigang to finally get her first Frauen-Bundesliga goal of the season. Triple change here for the visitors, and Freigang is not going to get that first Frauen-Bundesliga goal because she is coming off, so too Nina Lursen. Third change sees Nadine Riesen come off, so we've got Dilara Atchikers, Pia-Sophie Volter and Ereletta Mehmeti coming on. Mehmeti taking on her former club. Signed from Hoffenheim in the summer by Eintracht Frankfurt. With Freigang off the pitch, the captain's armband goes to Elisa Zenz, who used to hold that same status while she was on the books with Bayer Leverkusen. But those substitutions perhaps a reaction to what was a flat start to this second half from Eintracht Frankfurt, from their head coach Nico Arnautis. They are still in good spirits on what is a glorious day for a game of football. Mid-autumn sunshine and temperatures in the high teens. Atchikers goes low with the cross. Freiburg look to play their way out from the back, and again confident play. Niachenk looks up, doesn't have a lot ahead of her, but goes for the Hollywood pass, and it almost found its mark. Unfortunately, the final touch off of the intended target that was Selina Vorbian. Well, that would have been spectacular from Niachenk had there not been a touch. Scrappy in midfield, but Frankfurt come away with it. Two substitutes combined. Mehmeti, though, can't poke it through to Anyomi. who right now is our match winner, unless Freiburg can change something. Here's Vorbian, she's made a real impact off the bench. Has to wait for support. Oh, lovely idea from Vorbian, what a goal for Beerkoltz! Freiburg level the scores! The 50th anniversary celebrations are back up and running. And Beerkoltz gets the goal, but this is all about the play from Selina Vorbian. Masterful stuff. Waited and waited, and then produces the killer pass that splits the back line. Altenburg can't get there, and Beerkoltz has the goal at her mercy. It is game on again at the Dreisamstadion. And much like Frankfurt deserved their opener, Freiburg fully deserving of an equalizer. And having had to wait so long for her first Freiburg goal, it's 2 in 2 games now for Luca Beerkoltz. Here come Frankfurt. Ereletta Mehmeti. Oh, what a challenge from Stehli. Oh, this is going to be a fun final half an hour now at the Dreisamstadion. Freiburg have finally given their fans something to cheer on a day they're celebrating the club's 50th anniversary. They might still get a positive result and a fitting ending as well. Frankfurt will have something to say about that, and the header from Anyomi dealt with by Benkart. The game has really opened up now. That might benefit the visitors. Blomqvist looking for the return pass. Doesn't quite work out the way she was hoping. Edmond Kaplani has seen his side rally, and this, in terms of their performance levels, is what he was calling for before the game. It's not what they produced. There was a lot of tension in the Freiburg performance in the opening exchanges, and they really allowed Frankfurt to establish a grip on proceedings that led to the opening goal. Since then, I would argue that Freiburg have been the better team. This game is really up for grabs. And again, this could be a pretty significant indicator when it comes to how realistic Freiburg's top 3 ambitions could be, and maybe how realistic Frankfurt's prospects of defending third place are. Nachtigall catching a former teammate, Volta. Into the book she goes. every decision that doesn't go his team's way, I guarantee you, Nico Hernandez will have something to say about it. That's why he gets booked so often. Never really learns his lesson, though, does he? A man who rides the emotions of every football match he's a part of. Frankfurt fan turned head coach. Every now and again he puts that fan cap on the sidelines, doesn't he? Oh, that's a lovely ball. What a pass! And Blomqvist bursts forward, but doesn't have the beating of Stierli, who has been magnificent at the back for Freiburg today, has to be said. She was sent off against Frankfurt in that 6-0 defeat in the first meeting between these two sides last season. Near flawless performance this afternoon for Julia Stierli. That was a difficult pass to execute in terms of how vertical it was. The angle always helping Altenburg between the Frankfurt sticks. Frankfurt trying to re-establish their foothold in this game, and that's a teasing delivery that was met well by Blomqvist. She got the touch, but Benkart got 1-2. Right place, right time, the Freiburg goalkeeper. Chance now from the corner for the set-piece specialists, Eintracht Frankfurt. Mehmeti now on corner-taking duties. Two Freiburg players get a touch on it. Nachtigall needs help and gets it. We've got a real fight brewing on our hands now at 1-1 with so much to play for. Freiburg will be pleased with the fact that they've come from a goal down. They won't want their hard work to be for nothing. A share of the spoils would certainly be an acceptable result, and again it would leave them with just 2 defeats in 15 league games, and both of those defeats would have been against Bayern München, the 3-time defending champions. And went top of the table with a 3-1 win against Wolfsburg in the Women's Klassiker yesterday. Mehmeti trying to make something happen. And now Freiburg, having been in the ascendancy to get the equalizer, they are starting to allow Frankfurt back into the game. And Yomi, oh, she spotted the space she wanted to run, she does it herself, and Yomi! It needed a touch, but didn't get it. Now she tried to shoulder the responsibility there of getting Frankfurt back in front. Just under 9,000 in attendance today at the Dreisamstadion, certainly a higher than average attendance here. And again, a show of the recognition that the Freiburg women's team are getting. A demonstration of the rise in popularity of the women's game in general in Germany. Blomqvist, Mehmeti, back to Mehmeti, oh yes! Frankfurt slice Freiburg apart. And it's the former Freiburg player, Araleta Mehmeti, who re-establishes the lead after some scintillating play between her and her fellow summer signing Rebecca Blomqvist. That little reverse pass from Blomqvist is absolutely delightful. And the finish from Mehmeti wasn't bad either. Just under 20 minutes of normal time remaining, and Frankfurt are back in front. Well, not many have made the trip to the Black Forest from Germany's financial capital, but those that have, happy again. Sophia Nachtigall is now going to make way. Aurélie Silag ready to come on. Worth keeping an eye on. The young Frenchwoman has made quite the impact off the bench in a couple of games already this season, notably when she scored a brace in the 6-2 win against Hamburg. Different circumstances today, but if she can find an opportunity to stretch the Frankfurt back line, then she does have the prolific prowess to punish them. Silag, nice first touch. Oh! Seemed a bit harsh. Can only assume it might have been for a handball, but again... Oh, well, no, there was a little flick of the hand there in the end. Now the question is, can Freiburg muster up the fight back for a second time? Once is hard enough against a team of Eintracht Frankfurt's standards. Twice is near impossible, but then again, lest we forget what happened here at the Dreisamstadion last season, because we're in the exact same position, albeit we got here a little bit differently. And Yomi with a chance to really kill off any fight back, as Blomqvist is caught there, but I don't think that would ever be given as a penalty. Almost lost a boot. Just in that foot race, did get caught, but back in March, it was Frankfurt who had a 2-1 lead before 2 goals in injury time from Lisa Karl and Lila Egli, both still on the pitch for Freiburg, it's worth mentioning. Ultimately saw Freiburg really produce a sting in the tail of that game. And the fun fact about both of these teams is that this season they have had a propensity for scoring late goals. And of course that statement alone means we probably won't get one here today. But when you look at the final quarter of an hour of matches, Freiburg have scored 4 times in that time period. Frankfurt have scored twice in that period. Silag. Aurélie Silag. Breathtaking stuff down by the byline. A corner repelled, but another chance to get it into the danger area. The delivery too long. Rebecca Blomqvist. Not going to get her 4th goal of the season. But Romina Chiba, who Freiburg will remember for scoring the Frauen-Bundesliga's fastest hat-trick against them last season, comes on. Of course, that game was one where Freiburg had been reduced to 10 women. So the woman advantage certainly helped Frankfurt and Romina Chiba's cause. Back in October of last year. She scored in the 90th, 93rd and 94th minute. 3 goals, 4 minutes. Frauen-Bundesliga record. This is a season where we're going to see so many records broken. It's going to be club records, there'll be individual records, goal-scoring records, all sorts. Silag, providing a real danger since her introduction, and still Silag. Oh, the chance for Freiburg, and still Vorbian, it's got to be. They've leveled the scores for a 2nd time. They are not letting Frankfurt crash the party just yet. Character being shown by Die Breisgauer. And if the first Freiburg goal was all about the build-up from Vorbian, the second's all about the build-up from Silag, but it's Vorbian with the finishing touch. It's all about the substitutes as Freiburg fight back in this clash of top 3 hopefuls. And there might still be some celebrations to be had in the Black Forest. 50 years of women's football for FC Freiburg. So many memories since they were founded back in 1975. Could they add another today? Or Greve. First time effort well wide. Frankfurt will have other ideas, but what a wonderful way to kick off Sunday's action in Germany's top flight. A triple header after we had Super Saturday yesterday. Started with Wolfsburg's 3-1 loss to Bayern on home soil, as the reigning title holders go 3 points clear at the top of the table. In a season, they can join Wolfsburg and 1. FC Frankfurt as the record title holders in the Frauen-Bundesliga era. And then we had the first ever Nord Derby in Germany's top flight. We got a taste of it in the DFB Pokal der Frauen last season. But it was Werder Bremen who crowned themselves Queens of the North with a 2-0 win. 2 penalties from Larissa Mühlhaus. And right now, to be honest, it's a type of game you can throw the statistics out the window. This is going to come down in the final 10 minutes. Who wants this more? Who's got one last push in them? Can Freiburg harness the energy of the Dreisam Stadion to complete the ultimate comeback? It's all about guts and glory now. Grit and determination. And maybe, just maybe, the grace of the football gods. Game in the balance again. Risks being taken by both teams. Perhaps more by Freiburg because momentum is on their side once again. They've got to be careful though, because if they push too far up, someone like Romina Chiba is just ready to pounce. And you've got Chiba and Anyomi up front now, just loitering, waiting for any chance in transition. One ball forward, one vertical pass might just be enough to catch Freiburg out if they're not careful. Lila Egli putting a little bit of pressure on Jelle Weiten. Corner goes the way of the home side. The home fans sensing the opportunity. Can their side seize the moment? Good corner. Oh, it bounces all the way through. There might even have been a foul in the mix there, but play goes on. Egli clipping it back in. Sense to Anyomi. Well, better safe than sorry might be the better approach here from Frankfurt, but again, the clearance from Atticus picked off. Lisa Karl battling away, goes diving into the 50-50 challenge. The high press here from Freiburg forces the mistake from Anyomi. Frankfurt are rattled. Bierkoltz fouled, but no foul given. Greve with the outlet to Reuteler. She's got Chiba up with her. Reuteler goes it alone. Saved by Benkart. Got to think as well that that would have been harsh on Freiburg because it did look like Bierkoltz got fouled. And that is why you are hearing the whistles and the jeers from the home crowd now, aimed at Karolina Wacker. Quick chance to rehydrate. It has been such an intense game. I mean, that's a clear foul, my goodness. Greve gets nowhere near the ball, stamps on the foot of Luca Bierkoltz. And again, if a goal had come from that, that would have been a very contentious moment. In a game that doesn't need one, to be honest. It would be nice if we could come through without any controversy, because there's been enough of it this weekend already. Look at the upcoming games for Freiburg. Away from home against Nuremberg in the final game before the international break, and then 3 out of 4 home games afterwards. Of course, they do have that DFB Pokal round of 16 tie away from home against Wolfsburg in the mix as well. Frankfurt are in Wolfsburg on match day 10, but they've got a few must-win matches between now and then. The game against Bremen, much like this one, a clash of top 3 hopefuls. Werder Bremen have really hit the ground running at the start of this season, like Freiburg have, and right now, opportunity arises. Oh, the cross, what a touch that was. I believe it was from Illerstedt. I reckon we're getting a winner here. Either Freiburg are going to be rewarded for the fact they're throwing everything at Frankfurt and taking the risks needed to win it, or they are going to get caught out if Frankfurt can find a clinical touch. Silag has been magnificent off the bench. So has Selina Vorbian. I mean, to a degree, all of Freiburg's substitutes have made life a little bit more awkward for Nico Arnautis and co. No longer popping a squat. It's a nervous meandering on the sidelines now. Corner comes in. Carr was there. Stierli. Handball! Freiburg have a penalty. Big appeals from the fans behind the Frankfurt goal. And Carolina Wacker, the referee, points to the spot. High drama at the Dreisam Stadion. And there will be no review. The decision is going to stand. Was there a handball here? Stierli with the shot. I mean, the arm of Illerstedt is a little outstretched there. It hits the elbow. I think that's a tough decision, but a legitimate one. And now, wow, what a chance for Freiburg and for Selina Vorbian. She's got a goal and an assist already. She has been the star of the show in this comeback trail for Freiburg, and she can complete the comeback now from the penalty spot. Elisa Zenz is still chirping. It is Selina Vorbian against Lina Altenburg. To complete the comeback, Vorbian sends Altenburg the wrong way, and it's party time in the Black Forest once again. They've twice come from behind, and now Freiburg lead as they look to mark their 50th anniversary with a victory. And Selina Vorbian has been the spark. Brought on at half-time, 2 goals, 1 assist. Breathtaking stuff from Freiburg. A 5-goal thriller, and we might not be done yet. I mean, we haven't played all the matches this weekend, but right now I've got to say, Selina Vorbian, a very strong candidate for the best performance of the weekend so far. Certainly the most impactful. I mean, Clara Boo was brilliant yesterday for Bayern against Wolfsburg. But Edmond Kaplani, a tip of the cap to the Freiburg head coach for the moves he's made off the bench. But now Chiba's making moves for Frankfurt. Romina Chiba and Benkart, what a save! Easily her best stop of the game. She's been called into action by Frankfurt regularly, but they've been routine stops. That was anything but. Oh, this is going to be a spectacular final few minutes here, isn't it? What a ride we've been on. The 6-yard box packed out. Mehmeti's corner headed clear. Only as far as Greve. Greve. Now Freiburg are ready and willing to batten down the hatches. They'll be throwing everything into these final few seconds now. There's a nervous wait to see how many minutes will be added on. We did say that these two teams like to score late goals. And 2 from Selina Vorbian. Inside the final quarter of an hour, make it 6 for this season for Freiburg in that regard. But if Frankfurt can find their 3rd in that particular period of time. There is still something to salvage. If not, I mean, again, we've got to take the snapshot for Frankfurt. 3 league defeats after 6 match days. And they only suffered 4 losses all of last season. They are the favourites to finish 3rd. But right now, they are in danger of really losing ground in the Frauen-Bundesliga. Clear foul by Pia-Sophie Volter. As a result, she gets a yellow card. Luca Birkholz, scorer of Freiburg's first, replaced by Elena Bienz, who scored the 3rd in a 3-0 win against Union Berlin last time out, but this time around the 3 goals come in very different circumstances. But this is what Freiburg are all about, the never-say-die attitude. They were willing to fight until the last, hoping for the comeback. We talked about who wanted it more, who had the composure down the stretch, and then maybe whether there would be a bit of grace from the football gods. And, well, when it comes to the penalty, you could argue that the football gods got involved. 5 minutes added on at the end of the 90. 1 has already been played. And right now, Frankfurt won't be happy with the end of the pitch the ball is at. Credit to Altenburg, that was not easy goalkeeping. And now you sense the real urgency in the Frankfurt performance. Oh, that's not a foul. That's not a foul. Meritfelder standing her ground, and simply because Haley Rasso backs into her and drops to the floor, the whistle goes. Very generous. This would be a huge result as well for Freiburg. It would move them level on points with Wolfsburg. Silag. Antigers. Early cross had to be dealt with. Got to start winning all these 50-50s now, Freiburg. Right now, Frankfurt have the kitchen sink ready to throw at them. Pumping it long is good, but they need to find a bit of purchase, and that's where Aurélie Silag will be so key. She's been such a danger. The second half substitute. Vorbian sparked the comeback, but she certainly helped seal it. Felder, 50-50, wins out, so too does Stierli. Played into space, but it's Igli who doesn't give up on the cause. She got the dramatic 92nd minute winner last time out when these two sides met at the Dreisam Stadion. That game ended in a 3-2 win for Freiburg, and this one is now seconds away from doing the same. Chiba back to Greve. We are very much approaching last chance saloon here for the She-Eagles. Rasso took on Karl. Is hauled to ground. But this is a set piece of real promise and potential. We've had plenty of drama already. There might be another drop of it. Because if not, Frankfurt, it'll be 3 losses from 3 on foreign soil in the Frauen-Bundesliga this season, adding to the defeats against Hoffenheim and Leverkusen. For a team that wants to finish in the top 3, that isn't good enough. Free kick comes in. Oh, the set-piece specialists can't produce their party piece. Illerstedt attacked. She's got 3 goals already in Frankfurt colours. The 4th was not in the offing. the Cenk makes way as Ingeborg Ciudadatir comes on. It's her red card and penalty concession that cost Freiburg on Matchday 1 in the 1-1 draw with Werder Bremen. But again, a decision that, when you look back on the replays, I don't think it was a penalty, and I certainly don't think it was a red card. Silag, not a wise place to lose the ball, because Freiburg are actually pushed up, and oh yes, good defending again by Stierli. She has been the rock at the back. Foul throw, wow. That was likely the last chance Frankfurt had to get the ball forward. And they are penalised by their inability to do the basics. The final whistle, imminent. Or is there some icing left to be put on the celebratory cake for Freiburg here? Selina Vorbian, oh, she was on for a hat-trick and fancied her chances. They're not rushing into carving out a chance. Felder, they might get one though. Two in the middle to aim for. Silag wants it and gets it, but sends it over. Celebrations in the Black Forest as SC Freiburg's women mark their 50-year anniversary with a stunning and thrilling 3-2 come-from-behind victory against Eintracht Frankfurt. What a day at the Dreisamstadion. They underline their status as top 3 contenders by beating the team that has finished 3rd in the last 4 seasons. The final score, after twice coming from behind, SC Freiburg 3, Eintracht Frankfurt 2. Well, Super Saturday was yesterday, but what a super start to Sunday's action in the Google Pixel Frauen-Bundesliga. We knew this game was going to be a good one, a fascinating fixture given the context of it all. Freiburg came into this game with a 1-point advantage in the standings. Frankfurt hadn't picked up a single point on foreign soil this season and still haven't now. But they only have themselves to blame. They twice took the lead and yet they never killed the game off. And Edmond Kaplani and company never gave up to the last. And they were rightly rewarded in the end. Nicole Agnomi opened the scoring and gave Frankfurt a precious half-time lead. But Freiburg grew into the game in a way that Frankfurt didn't. And while they did manage to retake the lead, the Seagulls, ultimately Freiburg managed to use the match's momentum in their favour. And these specialists for late goals strike twice in the final quarter of an hour, as Selina Vorbian and Aurélie Silag, the 2 substitutes, really deserve their share of the credit here, because what an impact they both made in the second half. Vorbian certainly the star of the show. 2 goals, 1 assist. And the match-winning penalty in a clutch moment in the 87th minute held her nerve, and she delivers a 3-2 win to mark Freiburg's 50th anniversary. A special day, a special atmosphere, a special game, and a special result. James Thorogood, your match commentator, thanks for joining. 2 more games left to go on Sunday in Germany's top flight before we close out the action on Monday evening with Karl Jena against Nuremberg. But what a way to get today's action underway. Next up, Hoffenheim against Leverkusen, followed by Köln against Union Berlin. Here, though, this was a game where you can throw the stats out the window. In the end, Freiburg wanted it more. They rose above the challenge, and they claim a 3-2 win. And it's party time in the Black Forest. Thanks for joining.